It's a tidal wave as big as the internet. The AI boom is already minting fortunes for early investors. And if you're looking to get involved, the gold rush is just getting started. Right now, a major development is taking Silicon Valley by storm. It will accelerate the AI revolution and the historic profits that come with it. While 99% of Americans are completely in the dark, billionaires are laser focused on what's taking place. Elon Musk just poured $1 billion into this game changer. Jeff Bezos is also on board, and even Warren Buffett too. But as you'll see today, it's not just America's richest men. What's happening right now is so critical, the White House declared it a national priority. It will decide the winners and the losers of the AI revolution. But what does it mean for everyday folks? In a moment, you'll hear from one of America's top tech experts. 5 years before the launch of ChatGPT, Colin Tedards was testing a landmark AI breakthrough together with experts from NASA and the Pentagon. And when it comes to stock market opportunities, Colin's firm pounded the table on Nvidia back in 2016 before it exploded 7,910%. With just a $1,000 investment, you could have walked away with more than $80,000. His firm also recommended AI stocks that soared as much as 292% and even 1,982%. But he believes the best is yet to come. Today, Colin Tedards is joining us from Silicon Valley to reveal a groundbreaking development that's unfolding right now. He'll explain why this is a make or break moment for any investor looking to cash in on AI. And he'll share one specific step you can take right away to position yourself for a historic windfall.
Hi, my name is Colin Tedards. I'm the Senior Technology Analyst for Brownstone Research, one of the most widely followed research firms in America. Our network includes former Wall Street executives, hedge fund managers, computer engineers, and Silicon Valley insiders. Today, I'm going to show you how to get in on the next wave of AI profits. Right now, the mass adoption of AI is just beginning, and already one thing is clear. This new technology is making a lot of investors very rich, but it's also going to cost a lot of folks a lot of money. Right now, there's a lot of hype around this new technology, and many people are chasing hot stock stories and overnight riches. But you won't make that mistake after you watch this video. Today, we're cutting through all the noise. You're going to get to the truth about AI. Because make no mistake, despite the hype, the opportunity in front of you today is very real. Bloomberg just declared the AI revolution will be just as transformative as advertised. And it's happening at lightning speed. Bank of America says that no other technology has been spreading so fast. So if you want to get involved, this is no time to hesitate. You have to take the first step immediately. By the time we're done today, you'll know exactly what to do. I'll show you all my research completely free. You see how the future of AI hinges on one tech company. Most folks have probably never even heard of it, but 19 Wall Street billionaires are already rushing in. I'll introduce you to some of them in just a moment. For the past 4 decades, my firm has been tracking new technology breakthroughs just like the one you'll see today. We picked Bitcoin in 2015 before it soared 286 times higher. We also predicted the year's top performing tech stock on the S&P 500. Not 1 year, not 2 years, but 4 different times. In fact, my firm recommended Nvidia in 2016 at a split adjusted price of just $6 per share. The stock recently exploded to $493, creating a ridiculous 7,910% windfall for early investors. With just a $3,000 investment, you could have walked away with nearly $250,000. Now, if you're kicking yourself for missing out on these early profits, or you're just itching to get in on the AI boom right now, please pay close attention to what I'm about to share with you today. The truth is, the boom in artificial intelligence is just getting started. And today, you have a big chance to get in on the next big AI opportunity. While everyone's talking about Nvidia right now, another tech company, much smaller than Nvidia, is set to leapfrog over the tech giant. In fact, it's already happening right here in Silicon Valley, just a few blocks from where I am right now. This venture is just days away from launching a breakthrough new technology. And when it hits, I believe it will trigger a wave of excitement and profits unlike anything we've seen before. Insiders are already calling it a game changer, revolutionary, even saying it will open the door to the biggest long-term opportunity for this tech company. If you ignore this opportunity today, you could regret it for the rest of your life. Frankly, you might not get another chance like this, not in your lifetime. Because the fact is, we're witnessing a new gold rush right now, and it's unlike anything we've ever seen before. While most folks are not even aware of it, the truth is, scientists are already using AI to unlock virtually unlimited supply of clean energy, develop treatments for some of the deadliest diseases, and help us feed the world's growing population. All this was considered Hollywood fantasy just months ago, but now AI is transforming everything around us, from healthcare to finance, from education to transportation, from government to business. According to a new CNBC report, 495 of the 500 biggest corporations in America are already deploying AI. The world's largest gold miner, Goldcorp, is using it for new gold discoveries. They saw their success rate go up by 35 times on average. Walmart is using AI to negotiate with suppliers, and already it generated $13 billion in savings. And John Deere's AI is helping farmers boost food production while using 90% less pesticide. I could go on, but the fact is, AI is already transforming 7 out of 10 businesses across America, according to Forbes. From Fortune 500 corporations to mom and pop shops all over the country. And the economic impacts of the revolution promise to be bigger than anything we've seen before. Wall Street estimates AI will unlock a $200 trillion windfall. For perspective, take a look at how this compares to other popular technologies. Electric cars, cryptocurrencies, renewable energy. This AI boom could be 50 times bigger than all of them combined. And it's already underway. In the stock market, early adopters of AI are now exploding. Take a look. By now, you're probably aware of Nvidia's success. The stock has raised 246% higher just this year. Upstart soared 496%, and Big Bear AI exploded as high as 737%. These are just a few of the best performing AI stocks this year. But just $5,000 invested in each of those companies at the start of the year would be worth more than $88,000 today. Now, I realize you might feel like you've missed the boat. Might seem like a historic opportunity has just slipped right through your fingers. But it's critical to understand how early we are in this AI boom. Bank of America says we are now at a defining moment, like the internet of the 90s, where AI is moving toward mass adoption. And so far, we've only seen the first wave of profits. As more and more companies rush to adopt this new breakthrough, the AI boom is about to kick into high gear. And these windfalls are only set to accelerate. Like I said earlier, a historic development is about to light a fire under the entire tech industry. Because here's what most folks don't realize about artificial intelligence: all the exciting breakthroughs AI could unlock. The 200 trillion in new wealth, the incredible stock market profits. None of this is possible without the powerful technology in my hand. On the surface, this looks like an ordinary computer chip, but these AI chips are 10,000 times more powerful than what's inside your smartphone or your laptop. They are the lifeblood of artificial intelligence. And with the AI boom ramping up, tech companies are scrambling to buy them, thousands of them. Tesla is using 10,000 chips to fine-tune their self-driving technology. Google needs 26,000 chips for their new supercomputer. And ChatGPT, one of the hottest AI breakthroughs right now, is estimated to run on 50,000 of them. But there's a huge problem. And it's keeping tech billionaires like Elon Musk and Sam Altman, the man behind ChatGPT, up at night. In fact, Altman recently went in front of Congress to testify about this issue. He admitted it's crushing his entire $30 billion business. Some experts even speculate the company could go bankrupt. And the crisis is only getting worse and worse, not just for ChatGPT and Elon Musk, but for every company involved with AI. Because the fact is, there's not enough of these powerful chips to go around. And if this issue isn't addressed quickly, it could derail the entire future of AI. Wired reports tech companies are already forced to delay launches and trim profits. Microsoft is now warning this shortage is a major risk to the company. Think about it. Microsoft's entire business hangs in the balance, all because there's not enough AI chips. Exploding demand sent chip prices through the roof, as high as $40,000, according to CNBC. Crazy, right? $40,000 for a single AI chip? That's why companies like Tesla are now spending billions of dollars to secure supply, if they're available at all. The New York Times reports tech companies are forced to wait almost a year to get their hands on AI chips. As one tech engineer described it, it's like toilet paper during the pandemic. Because here's the thing, tech companies are no longer the only ones hoarding these chips. Entire countries are locked in an arms race right now. Saudi Arabia has an ambitious plan to become an AI powerhouse, and they have the money to pull it off. But it won't happen without cutting-edge chips. That's why the Saudi government wrote a $120 million check to secure supply for its tech companies. As we speak, a shipment of 3,000 AI chips is heading to the Middle East. China is also in a historic buying frenzy. Financial Times reports Chinese tech giants just put in a rush order for 500,000 chips. And here in the United States, the government is pulling out all the stops to keep the supply flowing. The White House even declared it a national security issue. And while Congress can hardly agree on anything these days, they recently passed a bipartisan bill to solve this crisis. It's called the CHIPS Act. You might have heard about it in the news. The Washington Post called it one of the government's largest programs ever. Because get this, to make sure the AI boom can go on without a hitch, the government is now pouring a whopping $278 billion into the chip industry. All this money is flooding into chip companies, but not a penny of it is going to Nvidia. With an 80% market share, they own a virtual monopoly on AI hardware, but not for much longer. Even Elon Musk is now saying the days of Nvidia's dominance are numbered. And as I'll show you in a moment, Musk has been turning to another chip maker for AI chips. Because the truth is, Nvidia is about to hit a wall. The company can't keep up with the exploding demand for these chips, and the fact is, Nvidia can't sell chips that it can't produce. The company is clearly maxed out. Their CEO admits the company is out of bullets. And to make things worse, he says the chip maker could be crippled for years. One thing is clear to me. There are two ways out of this mess. One, the world desperately needs another Nvidia immediately. Or two, the tech industry must develop more powerful chips so we don't need as many. And that's exactly why we're here today. As we speak, another company is stepping up in a big way. A firm that's much smaller than Nvidia will officially launch the most powerful AI chip in history. Armed with a technology 100,000 times smaller than a grain of sand. It's the most powerful AI chip on the market. And for tech companies desperate for these chips, this cutting-edge technology gives them the power of two of Nvidia's top devices in just one chip. When you consider that just one chip can cost as much as $40,000 right now, you can see why tech giants like Tesla, Google, and Amazon are desperate for this new technology. In a moment, I'll explain how this AI chip could be a massive boon for these firms. I'll also show you how you can take part in this historic opportunity. But you'll need to act fast. My research shows the big launch is now just days away. And already, 19 Wall Street billionaires have invested in this chipmaker. Because when this hot technology goes public, I believe it will trigger an historic surge in profits. JP Morgan says as much as $150 billion is up for grabs in this market. In other words, what we're looking at is a chance to get in on the next Nvidia weeks before the market catches on, and a realistic shot to see your investment multiply. How can I be so sure? Because it's happened several times before. Each time we've seen a new tech boom, it's created a surge in demand for the building blocks of technologies, advanced computer chips. And investors who played their cards right had a chance to make substantial profits. In a moment, I'll explain how you can position yourself to capitalize on this opportunity. But before I do, let me properly introduce myself. As I said, my name is Colin Tedards, and my entire adult life has been defined by technology. I've been a tech entrepreneur and an investor for 2 decades now. And I've been involved with just about every breakthrough you can think of. The internet, the iPhone, Bitcoin, and I've spent the last couple of years at the forefront of AI. For a long time, most Americans dismissed it as a gimmick. They saw an AI supercomputer called Watson win Jeopardy in 2011. But they had no idea they were watching the birth of a revolutionary technology live on television. Watson was essentially an early version of ChatGPT, a powerful supercomputer that cost $4 billion to develop. How do I know all this? I actually worked behind the scenes on the earliest versions of Watson. Together with top experts from NASA, the Mayo Clinic, and the Pentagon, Warren Buffett even praised Watson as an amazing invention on CNBC. Today, I'm the senior tech analyst for Brownstone Research. And when it comes to the rise of artificial intelligence, we've been guiding our readers right into the biggest opportunities. Back in 2018, we recommended Tesla to our readers. It was a hugely controversial call at the time. Most people saw Tesla as a glorified car company. CNBC even called the company stupidly expensive. But we knew better. We knew that Elon Musk was building Tesla into an AI powerhouse, and we pounded the table on the company. In fact, here's what we told our readers. Take a look. Tesla is much more than a flashy electric vehicle company. In fact, when you look past the headlines, you'll see it's really a software and AI company with a huge lead. It didn't take long for other investors to come around on Tesla. Almost overnight, it became one of the hottest tech stocks on the planet. Shares went on a tear, as high as 1,982%. Enough to turn a $1,000 investment into a $20,000 windfall. Then in 2019, we tipped our readers off to a company called TSMC. Most folks have never heard of it, but we knew TSMC was one of the biggest players in AI. Bloomberg even called the company the most important company you've never heard of, because TSMC manufactures virtually all AI chips on the planet. So it's no surprise TSMC shares popped as much as 292%. And of course, I already told you about our Nvidia call. We recommended Nvidia to our readers back in 2016. It was our top play for the early days of the AI boom. At the time, most people were still skeptical about the technology. The talking heads on CNBC were actually telling people to sell Nvidia. Looking back, this was terrible advice. So far, Nvidia has been the undisputed champion when it comes to AI hardware. Their chips became the gold standard for artificial intelligence. And for investors who got in early, this translated into a nice windfall. Nvidia exploded 7,910% since we recommended it. Enough to turn a $1,000 investment into $80,100. With that said, I wouldn't recommend you buy Nvidia shares today. Now just be clear, there's nothing wrong with Nvidia. If you already own the stock, there's really no reason to sell. But the recent rally pushed the company's market cap well over $1 trillion. Only a few companies in America are this massive. Amazon, Apple, Microsoft, and Alphabet, Google's parent company. In other words, because of its giant size, Nvidia simply can't grow as fast as it did in the past. Now, the AI boom could easily lift the stock another 10 or 20%, maybe even another 50%. But unless you're already rich, that's not enough to move the needle on your financial situation. In other words, if you're looking for a chance to make big, life-altering profits, you have to look beyond Nvidia. When you follow the smart money, it's clear where the next big windfall is likely coming from. As we speak, big investment companies and banks like BlackRock, Vanguard, Bank of America, and others are quietly moving out of Nvidia. Instead, Wall Street is pouring money into a company I call the next Nvidia. Already, 19 billionaires have been accumulating shares of this AI chipmaker. You might have heard of Ken Griffin, the man behind the Citadel hedge fund. Last year, he made a record $16 billion in stock market profits. It was all over the news. Griffin is now selling Nvidia and pouring his money into this AI chipmaker. He just bought a whopping $1.3 billion worth of the stock. Then there's David Tepper, legendary hedge fund billionaire and owner of the Carolina Panthers. He made a fortune in the early days of the internet. And right now, Tepper is going all in on this AI chipmaker. He just bought another 2 million shares. Wall Street legend David Einhorn is another billionaire rushing in. He famously bought Apple back in 1997 when shares were trading for less than $1. And right now, I think he's about to hit another home run. David Einhorn has already bought 1.2 million shares of the company I call the next Nvidia. All in all, a total of 19 Wall Street billionaires already own shares. The way I see it, this mad scramble among the billionaires only means one thing. It's only a matter of time before this chipmaker makes a big splash in the stock market, because the company is on the cusp of launching a next generation AI chip, a technology 100,000 times smaller than a grain of sand and faster than even Nvidia's top shelf chips. While most Americans are completely in the dark about this landmark development, this new chip is already making a lot of buzz in tech circles. Insiders are calling it a game changer, revolutionary, even a monster device. And they have every reason to be excited. As I told you earlier, with Nvidia's supply completely maxed out, tech companies are desperate for powerful chips. And this new device is the most advanced AI tech on the planet. Forbes calls it a tour de force of chip technology. Tech magazine Semi-Analysis calls it a marvel of engineering. It is 2.4 times more powerful than even Nvidia's top technology. Now that might not sound like a big deal, but think about it this way. It's essentially like taking 2.4 Nvidia devices and packing them into one powerful chip. In other words, with this new chip, the biggest AI players can essentially cut the number of chips they must buy in half or more. For companies like Tesla, Microsoft, Amazon, and others, this is a dream come true. Right now, they are spending billions on AI chips if they're lucky enough to get them. That's why this firm's new AI chip is such a big deal. I believe it will help Elon Musk unlock fully self-driving cars. In fact, he recently confirmed Tesla is very close to achieving full self-driving without human supervision. And these powerful AI chips are critical to Tesla's success. But it's not just Elon Musk and Tesla. Even before the official release, tech giants have been lining up to buy this company's technology and leverage their expertise. The Verge reports Microsoft just wrote a $2 billion check. Meta, Facebook's parent company, is also on board. Then there's Apple and Google. Plus, they also have lucrative government contracts with the Department of Defense, the military, and even NASA. And with the launch of this new chip just days away, Reuters now reports Amazon could be next in line. For years, all these groups have relied on Nvidia's AI chips, but now it's official. With a more powerful technology set to launch in just a few days, Amazon is looking to ditch their longtime supplier for this new chip maker. When you add it all up, it's clear. This company stands to benefit from the AI boom better than any other. A $150 billion opportunity is at stake here in the AI market, according to JP Morgan. And incredibly, the company is still a fraction of Nvidia's size. Their revenue is just $5 billion. But when this new AI chip finally hits the market, it's expected to add $1 billion to the company's bottom line per quarter. When that happens, what do you think will happen to its share price? I believe it's going to skyrocket. If you want to capture all the upside, it's critical you act immediately. Now, I know it seems hard to believe. How could a smaller rival become the next Nvidia? Especially when it seems nothing can derail the giant chipmaker's success right now. It's tempting to just buy Nvidia shares and hold on for dear life, but history shows that would be a huge mistake. Let me show you what I mean. When computers were introduced in the 80s and 90s, HP was the gold standard for computer hardware. From desktop computers to business hardware like data storage and networking technology. Through the 90s, the stock rose 970%, 10 times your money. You'll probably agree that's a great return, but it's nothing compared to an obscure company called EMC. EMC was tiny compared to HP. Forbes even called them one of the best kept secrets in tech. But everything changed when EMC launched a data storage technology called Symmetrics. Businesses all over the country were desperate for EMC's technology. As Wired magazine put it, if you were building a business and you needed to store lots of data, EMC was your main option. And investors who saw it all coming made out like bandits. Looking back, HP is a stock that looks a lot like Nvidia of its time. But would you believe EMC was the top performing stock of the decade? It's true. The stock soared an incredible 80,575%. That is 83 times better than HP. A $1,000 stake in EMC would have ballooned into $806,000. The same thing happened when the internet was rolled out across America. In 1986, IBM helped launch a server network called the National Science Foundation Network. This project essentially gave birth to the internet. Without IBM's hardware, the internet as we know it today wouldn't exist. So it's no surprise that through the internet boom of the 90s, IBM shares rose as high as 526%. That's impressive, right? But the biggest internet profits didn't come from IBM. Instead, they came from a hardware company called Cisco. At the time, it was a tiny company, unknown to most people. After all, Cisco had just launched as IBM flipped the switch on the internet. But as the internet started gaining traction, this small firm quickly grew into a giant. Its network hardware eventually became the backbone of the internet. Again, IBM was the Nvidia of its time, but it was Cisco that ultimately outperformed, handing investors profits as high as 75,148%. Again, that's 142 times better than IBM. Fortune called Cisco one of the great investment plays of a lifetime. With just a small $1,000 investment, you could have cashed out with more than $752,000. Like I said, this pattern repeats like clockwork at the beginning of every tech boom. It happened again a few years later with the rollout of another breakthrough, the smartphone. You probably know that early Apple investors made a fortune. After Steve Jobs launched the iPhone, Apple shares soared by more than 4,200%. But once again, there was a better way to get rich from the smartphone rollout. The savviest investors bought shares of a lesser known company called Broadcom. Why? Because get this, each iPhone has not one, not two, but 4 Broadcom chips inside. It's not a stretch to say that Broadcom made the smartphone boom possible. So it's no surprise the stock has been on a tear, up more than 7,600% since the iPhone launch. That's almost double what Apple returned during the same time. A $1,000 investment in Broadcom would have turned into $77,000. Of course, these are some of the best performing market examples. There's no guarantee we will see gains this high. But are you starting to see the pattern now? Time and time again throughout history, companies that make up the backbone of new technologies have been crushing just about every other investment. EMC outran HP, Cisco crushed IBM, and Broadcom could have turned $1,000 into $77,000. And today, I found a similar opportunity. With AI chips in high demand right now, companies that manufacture these chips are making money hand over fist. It's already clear that the boom in AI will play out the same way. So I wasn't surprised when I found out that Warren Buffett already poured billions of dollars into AI chip makers. That's huge. Buffett famously said ignoring the internet boom was the biggest mistake of his life. And he's not making the same mistake twice. The Oracle of Omaha now has almost half of his $375 billion portfolio in AI investments. Of course, as I just showed you, you don't need to bet the farm to win big. The AI boom is powerful enough to transform just a small stake into more money than you'll ever need. So far, Nvidia looks like the big winner, But I've found an opportunity that looks a lot like EMC, Cisco, or Broadcom years ago. A chip maker that's smaller than Nvidia and with lots of room for growth. Right now, this company is building the backbone of AI with a cutting-edge chip. This proprietary tech is fast enough to eliminate the need for half the chips AI companies desperately need. While this new chip didn't even launch yet, I showed you how tech giants are already lining up for this company's technology. From Tesla and Microsoft to Apple and Amazon, I'm 100% convinced this chip maker is about to blast past Nvidia and shower investors with profits. That's why 19 Wall Street billionaires are already on board. They know if you get in early, you could see your money multiply. To help you get started immediately, I put all the details in a special report. It's called The Next Nvidia: How to Unlock the Next Wave of AI Profits. Inside, you'll get detailed instructions on how to take a position, including the full name and the 3-letter ticker symbol you need to buy it. I'll tell you how to buy shares for maximum profits. All it takes is a few clicks in your regular brokerage account. Plus, you'll also get my detailed research behind this company, their cutting-edge technology, and growth projections, so you can have all the information you need to get started right away. I'll tell you how to get a copy of this special report in just a moment. But before we get to that, there's one more thing I want you to be aware of. By now, you know that AI will transform just about every aspect of our economy. But not every business will be affected the same way. There will be big winners and big losers. Early adopters of this new technology will flourish, but companies that fall asleep at the wheel will fall behind. Many will go out of business entirely. Now, this isn't a new phenomenon. The same thing happened during the internet rollout. Here's what I mean. Ever heard of Borders? Borders was America's second biggest bookstore. At some point, they had 400 stores all over the country. But when the internet came around, they never bothered to expand their business online. And eventually, the company went bankrupt. Meanwhile, Jeff Bezos launched an entire bookstore on the internet, and he never looked back. Today, Amazon is one of the biggest companies in America, with more employees than the population of many small countries. Investors who got in on the ground floor made as much as 267,000%. That's enough to turn just a $500 stake into more than $1.3 million, all because Amazon was among the first to adopt the internet. Now, if you missed the opportunity to get in on Amazon back then, you now have a second chance, because a similar but even more powerful trend is playing out in AI. And one company is taking a page straight out of Amazon's playbook. It's based right here in Silicon Valley. And just like Amazon embraced the internet in the 90s, this company is now racing to adopt AI across the entire business. And as much as $35 billion could soon be driven by this new technology. I think that's why Jeff Bezos decided to take a stake. That's right. Bezos is a major backer of this early adopter. Of course, this doesn't guarantee this company will soar 2,670 times, just like Amazon did. Nothing is ever guaranteed when it comes to investing. But if anyone can replicate Amazon's success story today, I'm 100% convinced it's this company. I recommend you take a stake in this early adopter immediately. Right now, you can buy shares for less than $50. But when you consider how fast AI investments are moving right now, this stock could soon take off. And I'd hate for you to miss out. I put down all the details about this company in a special report called The #1 AI Adopter to buy right now. I'll rush it to you immediately. Together with the other report I mentioned a moment ago, the next Nvidia, how to unlock the next wave of AI profits, all I ask in return is that you try my monthly research service, the Near Future Report, at no risk to you. Every month, I'll show you the most exciting technology opportunities on my radar, together with my full analysis and a new stock recommendation. My goal is to get you in on the next big thing in tech, long before the average person hears about it. AI is the biggest breakthrough right now, but it's not the only one. Our readers had a chance to profit from some of the biggest innovations of our time: 5G, cloud computing, CRISPR technology, the blockchain and Bitcoin, electric vehicles, and self-driving cars. Just to be clear, we're not taking flyers on startups with questionable business models. The Near Future Report is focused on tech investments that are low risk enough for retirement money, but still have big growth potential. You've already seen some of the winners my firm picked. I showed you how our Tesla recommendation jumped 1,982%. How we recommended Nvidia before it soared 7,910%. And how my firm was among the first to pick Bitcoin. That one exploded an incredible 28,562%. Now, these are just a few of the best performing opportunities we found, but only $1,000 invested in each of them would be worth more than $385,000 today. For almost anyone, that gets you into an early and comfortable retirement. But it's not just about getting in on the next big tech play. I'm also going to tell you if an investment gets ahead of itself and it's time to get out. A few years ago, we recorded a video just like this one. We warned folks that many popular tech investments were about to implode. We singled out Zoom as the worst tech stock in America and said it was due for a 90% drop. And that's exactly what happened. Zoom crashed 89%. Many investors got wiped out, but not our readers. In other words, when you join the Near Future Report, I'll be there with you every step of the way. I'll show you how to get started in a moment, but there's one more opportunity I think you'll be interested in. As I showed you today, we're still very early when it comes to AI. Right now, some of the most exciting AI companies are still private. In other words, they're tiny speculations with the potential for gains of 25,000, 50,000, maybe even more. OpenAI, the company that launched ChatGPT, wasn't even around a few years ago. Today, it's one of the hottest startups on the planet. It's worth $30 billion. That's from zero to $30 billion in just a couple of years. The bad news is, it's unlikely most investors will ever be able to get in. OpenAI's CEO confirmed the company has no plans to go public. But the good news is, I recently found a private company that's on track to become the next OpenAI. The company is still tiny. It has just 35 employees, but it already attracted the attention of major heavy hitters. Tech billionaires Reid Hoffman, Bill Gates, and former Google CEO Eric Schmidt are investors in this tiny tech venture. I wouldn't be surprised if it grows into one of the most successful AI companies. Like I said, this startup is still private. Unless you're a well-connected investor with deep pockets, it's not possible to take a stake in this private firm quite yet. But I want to make sure you're ready to take action if and when you can buy shares on the stock market. I created a special report for you with all the details. It's called the AI Moonshot Watch List. When you join the Near Future Report today, I'll make sure you get this special report in your hands right away. In a moment, you'll see a Join Now button on your screen. click that button and you'll be able to start your membership. Now, I know we covered a lot today, so let's just go through everything you get when you take a risk-free 1-year subscription to the Near Future Report today. The next Nvidia, how to unlock the next wave of AI profits. The #1 AI adopter to buy right now. The AI Moonshot Watchlist, plus 12 new monthly issues of the Near Future Report, each with a new stock recommendation. The Near Future Report model portfolio with all the current recommendations, buy up to prices, and exact profit targets. Access to our full archive where you'll find thousands of dollars worth of additional research and special member-only email alerts. Whenever a new market development hits my desk, you'll be the first to know. Normally, the Near Future Report costs $199 for a year. If you go to my firm's website, that's the price you'll see. When you consider the level of research you're getting, I think it's worth every penny. But today, through this page only, you can join the Near Future Report for just $49. That's a $150 discount for full access to everything we just covered. It works out to just $4 per month, less than a cup of coffee. I think you'll agree that's a very generous deal. To get started, all you have to do is click the big Join Now button on your screen. You'll be taken to a secure order form where you can review everything one more time. And within minutes, you'll have access to everything I promised you today. It couldn't be any simpler. Now, if you're still on the fence about joining the Near Future Report right now, I want to say this. I realize I've yet to earn your full trust. So let me do one more thing. Join the Near Future Report today and then use the next 60 days to see if it makes sense for you. Read all the special reports you get today, review the upcoming monthly issues, check out my stock recommendations and my research. If you're not happy for whatever reason, simply contact my support team. We'll refund you 100% of your subscription money. And on top of that, as a thank you for taking your time to discover more about me and my research, you can keep all the special reports you get for your membership at no extra cost. That way, you're not taking any risks by giving the Near Future Report a try today. The way I see it, you have two options right now. You can ignore what's set to be the biggest breakthrough of our lives. You can snuff out the voice inside of you that's telling you to jump on this opportunity. And you can disregard everything I've shared with you today and hope that one day another megatrend like AI comes your way. Or there's another option. You can choose to try my research today for what amounts to just a few dollars per month. You can let me send you all the details about the AI company I call the next Nvidia, just moments before the market catches on. And you can let me put 160 employees in my firm to work for you and guide you right into the biggest tech opportunities. If I'm right, you could accelerate your retirement by years, even decades. Now, I can't make this decision for you, but the fact you've made it this far tells me you know what the right call is. So go ahead and join the Near Future Report now. Simply click the big Join Now button on your screen to get started. Thanks for tuning in today, and I look forward to welcoming you to the Near Future Report. And good luck with your investments.